What's up, Gaming Nation? I am back with another 7 Days to Die. I'm Game, and today I am showing you guys building tips with the different blocks that are in Alpha 19 and just 7 Days to Die in general. This hasn't changed since Alpha 19's release, but I wanted to go over this because this is something that I think a lot of people really just don't understand and don't really know, and it's really simple to figure out. So, what I've done is I've actually shown you guys all the different blocks going from 1 to steel, all the way down from the basic wood frame that you get from day 1, all the way up to steel, which is the late game best thing that you can get, best material. So I want to quickly go over and show you guys all the different ones, all the different building materials, all the different blocks that are in the game, and then show you guys what to do with them. So the first thing is I want to go over hit points. The wood frame block, 50 hit points. The wood, when you upgrade it the first time, stage 1 wood, if you would say, 225 hit points. The second stage wood, 225 hit points. The flagstone block, 500 hit points. The iron frame is 100 hit points. The first stage iron is 1,000. And also the second stage iron is 1,000. Then you upgrade to the cobblestone block, which is 1,500 hit points. There's also rebar frames, which are 50 hit points. There's the first stage concrete, the basic concrete, which is 2,500 hit points. The second stage concrete, which is upgraded from that, which is 5,000 hit points. And then there's the 7,000 hit points of the steel that you love in that late game stage. So what I want to show you guys, obviously that's the hit points. You guys can see that it's easy. You know not to build a base out of sticks or wood frames, right? But did you know that there's actually all of these different frames you can build differently? You can actually have them build a little bit differently. So the first thing we want to look at is the first stage wood. Now over here we've got the wood frames, the first stage wood, and the second stage wood. They all have a horizontal support, which is the horizon support, which is the horizontal, how far you can build out from the certain block is 8. Now what that means is when we look at this particular one, we're looking at just this block here. So obviously this block is what we're looking at. We can build up as far and as high as you want because it's all supported from the bottom. It keeps going up. All those blocks are going to be supported. Once you start going out on the horizon, on the horizontal, that's when it starts counting and the game says, okay, am I going to collapse? Am I not going to collapse? Now, what we have to look at here is if we use this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So with that, of course, it's great. This one block that's over here is actually holding all of these blocks. This is perfectly stable, not a big deal. If you wanted to, we could come up here, we could run, we could jump, we could do anything we want on this block. This block is perfectly stable because this is holding it up because it has a support of 8. Now, if we go in and add just one more block, the whole thing is going to collapse because it can only support 8. Okay, so if you guys look at the same thing, let's look at the late game stage. So steel, it's got what I said, that it's got 15 support. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So again, that one block all the way down there is holding all of this weight and all of that's perfectly stable. At this point, this is where you would actually want to go in. Let's get a steel block. And then this is where you would want to put down more support, more vertical support, and then you can keep building another 15. At this point, we could keep going for another 15 blocks off of this one support. Now, let's say that we didn't know what that support was. Let's say we didn't know what that was, and we add one more block to this, and we put it on here, it's going to start collapsing. So obviously that's not what we want to do. We don't want it to collapse on us. So we want to only build it out the 15 blocks and then figure out from there. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Game, I'm not going to remember all these different blocks, all these different numbers. I'm not going to write that down and remember that, right? Obviously. Now, how you guys can figure this out in the game itself is super simple. If you pull up one of the blocks, for instance, cobblestone block, it looks like here we have the mass of 10 points, 10 pounds, 10 kilograms, whatever you want to say. It's got 10 points of mass. So this block weighs 10. Now the horizontal support, how much it can hold across, is 120 points. So that's how we find that the cobblestone block should hold 12 of itself all the way across, which if we look at our little example down here of the cobblestone blocks, we've got 12. So that's how you guys find that number. Now, I want to show you guys one other thing, because obviously at some point or another, you're not going to be building with the same blocks. You don't always have to. And that's why I kind of built this little bridge here. We've got half the bridge. We need to get to this other side. So the first thing we have to do is figure out what the heck this base is built out of. So this is 2,500 hit points, which just so happens to be first stage concrete. Regular concrete, that's what this is built out of. So if we look, this is concrete all the way up. So all of that is supported because it's all the way at the bottom of the ground, so it's supported all the way up. So we don't have to worry about any of this stuff collapsing at this point because it's supported with these columns all the way up, right? So it's vertical, it's supported. Now, if we remember, if we look at the concrete, we have the regular concrete block, the mass is 10, the horizontal support is 120. So we could hold 12 of these concrete blocks all the way across. Now, for instance, let's say that we're not going to use concrete. Let's say we're going to use steel, because we can mix the concrete and the steel. So if we look at the concrete, it says it can hold 120 points, okay? So if we use steel, they're 20 points each. So let's just do the math real quick. We want to pull out the steel. So we add 1, which is 20 points. 20 more is 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steel blocks that is all supported by this one block right here. So this block, according to our stuff, can hold 120 points. This is literally exactly 120 points. So if we go and put one more steel block on here, it's going to collapse because it can only hold 120 support all the way across. Now, if we did something kind of cool with this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there was the 6. Now let's add steel on top of it. Okay, so this doesn't matter. Everything's going to start with the steel again because the steel is what we're going to build off of, right? So if we add 6 more to this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're the same height. They're the same right there, right? Now if we look at the steel has a horizontal support of 300. So 300 divided by 20 gives us 15. So we should be able to extend this out 15 times. So if we go look at this again, this should not collapse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the, what was it, 6 originally? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So if you guys notice, you can mix and match these different items to give you a better thing. So that's why a lot of people say build your support out of the stronger material. Because if we go and do this, that's going to collapse. But the top isn't going to collapse because all of that weight is being held by this one block. So it's holding all of that. Now let me show you guys another cool example as well. So over here, I've actually built a bunch of blocks that's just all literally sitting on just this one block, right? Now, because obviously you're talking about horizontal support. Now this is horizontal support in one way, okay? So this can hold 12 blocks by itself. So what this block is currently doing, this one block is holding 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just count it with the rebar frame. It's going to be a little bit easier. Let's do it this way. So we want to add this. So this one block that we're looking at here is going to hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go up. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 blocks. And you think, game, that's not what you said earlier. You said 12 blocks. It's 12 horizontal support in any direction. So if you guys think about it, this one block is holding 12, 24, 48, whatever the heck the next number is. It's holding all of these blocks just with this one thing. Now, of course, because it can hold 12 blocks, we're completely safe how we have this right now. But if you guys want, if we sit here and we add just one more block to this, it's going to make that 13 and it can't hold it anymore. So it's the exact same concept as what we were looking at earlier, but this gives you guys kind of the ability to think about this in different ways. Because this one block here, that one block is holding 12 every single direction, however you want to build that. But it can only hold 12, so you have to be careful not to add more. So this is something else that I think a lot of people don't think about. So my block, this block right here, it is holding 12. It's able to hold 12, right? It's because it's concrete, it's able to hold 12. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 blocks right here. If I put this on here, which if we look at this, its mass is 10, right? So it's going to add 10 more points to this block. It's going to collapse the whole thing. Because again, it's not necessarily that it can only hold 12 blocks, but it can only hold the concrete 120 points or 120 pounds or 120 kilos, whatever you want to say. It can only hold 120 of whatever that is. And that includes other items that you might have. So throwing down something like your scrap polymers on top of it, that's not going to break it. That's not going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. But if you go and put a wood frame down, that's mass is 5. That's going to take some points. If you put down other items like an iron block or the soil, any of these items here that have mass, that's going to count towards your building. So if you're building something really huge, make sure that you guys support that with as much as you can. Because if you take out if zombies take out this one block, your entire base could come crumbling down. Just like here, we've got 3 support columns that's holding all of this stuff up. So if we took out one column, we're fine. The other column, we're still fine. And then it just all comes down to this one block. And then it can all come crumbling down. So make sure you guys build multiple different layers, multiple different things. I hope you guys liked the video. It's definitely just something that I wanted to throw together. And let's just watch that. It's so satisfying just to see stuff crumble. So guys, if this helped you in any way, shape, or form, please drop a like on the video. If you guys love the video, think about subscribing. And if you guys have anything to say, put it down in the comments below, and I'll try my best to answer it. Thank you guys so much. Peace.